Is Ethereum ready for a brand new all-time high? And is the market ready for a brand new altcoin season? Before we talk about an altcoin season, guys, let's start off with Ethereum because I think this chart is absolutely beautiful. We have a beautiful range with range pivot number 1 over here, range pivot number 2 over here, and then we have range pivot number 3 over here, which this turned out to be a deviation. Usually we would say, okay, after a deviation of the range low, the next objective should be the liquidity pool above the range high. But over here we could see that the mid-range was constantly capping the price, and over here we saw a deviation above the mid-range, and then we went back to the range low liquidity pool because simply the price didn't have the strength yet. So we visit this range low liquidity pool and we mitigate this sell side liquidity over here, in which over here we see 1 deviation and 2 deviations beneath that sell side liquidity low. That turned out to be a potential bigger deviation below the high time frame range low over here, in which if we analyze the local structure, guys, we see that we form a high, higher low, higher high. Then we form a lower low, lower high, and lower low, in which if we want to mark out the significant high to break over here for Ethereum in order to switch the market structure back to bullish, it's this high over here. Now, why is this quite clean? Because this high over here aligns around this range low, which means that if we manage to break and hold above that high and shift structure, and by shifting structure, guys, I mean opening and closing a candle on the 4-hourly time frame above that high. Not just close a candle above, no, open and close a candle above that high. So once we shift the structure over here, we also have a confirmed deviation of this range low over here, which means that after a first deviation, if you get a second bigger deviation, the range high liquidity pool, guys, it is almost imminent over here, and that is aligning around $4,098. So the plan for Ethereum is so simple. I'm waiting for a shift over here. If I get the shift, I'm going to play the higher low and I'm going to target the range high liquidity pool, in which you can have your first order slightly above the range low, invalidation beneath the deviation low, right? And as a first take profit target, we can target the range high liquidity pool. That swing trade already offers a beautiful RR of 2.68, in which you can also use some DCA orders a little lower down. And eventually, guys, don't forget that my target for Ethereum, it still remains the same. I'm still targeting a brand new all-time high. And if I target a brand new all-time high with this position, that means that I'm targeting a 5 RR trade for only a 52% raw gain on Ethereum. That is definitely possible. So the plan for Ethereum, guys, it's so simple and so clean. I think once we manage to shift structure over here, get that confirmed deviation of that range low, you really want to go aggressive into a swing long position, with your first target being the range high liquidity pool and the second target being a brand new all-time high for Ethereum, offering us a beautiful potential swing trade. Now, in order to explain my thesis why I'm expecting an altcoin season, obviously Ethereum is confirming that thesis in my opinion, because Ethereum is the leading altcoin, but we are also going to have a look at Ethereum against Bitcoin, and also going to have a look at a beautiful fractal of the total crypto market cap without Bitcoin, so excluding Bitcoin, that is showing a beautiful fractal of exact similar price action that Bitcoin was showing before it pumped to a brand new all-time high. But first, let's start off with Ethereum against Bitcoin, guys, because what we can see over here is that first of all, we have a beautiful range on the weekly time frame. Guys, weekly time frame cannot be underestimated. This is very high and strong time frame. What can we see when we analyze this range is that we have range pivot number 1, range pivot number 2, range pivot number 3. Eventually, we deviate above the range high once and twice, and we visit the range low liquidity pool. We wick beneath it. Then after wicking beneath it, we put in a fake break of structure over here, and that induced people into putting their stops over here, which engineered a beautiful liquidity pool around the range low. Currently, if we zoom in, we are wicking into that liquidity pool over here around the range low. But more importantly, guys, when we switch on the relative strength index, what can we see? When we quickly remove this moving average over here, what can we see is that besides Forex and commodity trading, Prime XPT has now also introduced crypto futures trading. So you can now also trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the numerous amounts of altcoins, next to the fact that I think the Prime XPT to trade Forex and commodities with your own funds instead of trading at prop firms like Private Funded, I think Prime XPT is the best place to do so. Make sure to sign up with the link down below in the description to receive a 7% deposit bonus. RSI indicator over here on the weekly time frame is forming a higher low. While the RSI is forming a higher low, the price action is forming lower lows over here. And by closing the previous candle into the green over here, we have locked in that bullish RSI divergence on the weekly time frame. And usually this is a very, very strong signal. Not only for potential bottoms, but also use this to find out if we are looking at potential high time frame tops for altcoins in the future, guys. This is a brand new tip that you guys should be understanding if you want to potentially find potential tops, but also high time frame bottoms. And over here we are looking at a potential high time frame bottom. All that we need now is to analyze the daily time frame. What can we see on the daily time frame is that we have a significant high over here aligning above that range low. Why is this a significant high? Because this high over here, guys, brought us to this fresh low compared to this low that brought us to that high. So it makes it a significant high to break. Also the daily showing a clear bullish divergence, but the weekly divergence is obviously more important. So what we are looking at is a sweep of high time frame sales and liquidity and a potential deviation below the pivotal range low. All that we need now in order to really start the Ethereum and altcoin season is that we need to have a break of structure over here on the daily time frame and a reclaim of that range low, in which we are currently struggling to break above it. Once we reclaim it and shift structure, you can play the higher low and Ethereum will strongly start outperforming Bitcoin, guys. If we look at a 3-day time frame and we measure the targets, right, we know that after deviation of the range low, first target, guys, is the mid-range, and that's already an increase of 34% of Ethereum against Bitcoin, which means that if Bitcoin remains at the exact same price, Ethereum will still have a 34% increase. Now, towards the range high liquidity pool, we are looking at a 68% increase, which is an even bigger potential pump for Ethereum. Now, this is the first main reason why I'm bullish on Ethereum and why I'm also very, very bullish on altcoins. Guys, if you check out my weekly outlook on Twitter for Bitcoin, you can also see that I'm also expecting Bitcoin to either range or pump to a new all-time high, which means, guys, that the market, in my opinion, is currently looking potentially extremely bullish. Now, my focus is on trading Ethereum and altcoins instead of Bitcoin, because like I said, I think the gains are to be made at Ethereum, and I will right now also explain why I think the gains are about to be made at altcoins as well. Guys, what we are looking at over here is the total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin on the left and the Bitcoin chart on the right. What we can see over here on Bitcoin is that we have a previous bull market range, right? With pivot number 1, pivot number 2, pivot number 3. What we can see over here is that we have a previous bull market range over here as well on the total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin. Pivot number 1, pivot number 2, and then it pumps. So over here, this is pivot number 3 instead of this one, right? It's a little different, as you can see. So, which means that we have two bull market ranges. What we can see, Bitcoin wicked above the mid-range. After wicking above the mid-range, it slightly front-run that quarterly level over here. After front-running the quarterly level, that's where the true Bitcoin pump started of approximately 90% to a brand new all-time high. Guys, simply look at the total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin. Pumped above the mid-range, wicked above it, couldn't go above it yet. So it slightly front-runs this quarterly level over here, potentially putting in a local bottom, just like Bitcoin did before it started pumping like crazy. Now let's say that this fractal is similar and that we are looking at a potential bottom over here of the total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin, which represents Ethereum and altcoins, then this one should also be pumping to a brand new all-time high. And that's a 60% pump away. Let's say it also pumps about 90%, then we are looking at a total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin of 2 trillion, which is also a psychological number. Does it make sense? Yes, it does. Now, I think that a potential bottom could be in as long as we start reclaiming the mid-range. Guys, if we reclaim this mid-range over here, we will see very aggressive expansion towards the range high over here simple range trade. After reclaiming the mid-range, after a massive deviation of the range low, you will pump towards the range high liquidity pool, right? If you cannot gain the mid-range, right? If the mid-range proves to be too strong of a resistance at first, you will retest the quarterly level before pumping and retesting the range high liquidity pool. Now guys, I think that this is a massive potential fractal. It looks so similar. Simply have a look at yourself. It looks so similar, and I think that Ethereum and altcoins are ready to really start outperforming Bitcoin, and I think you should be looking for longs on Ethereum and on altcoins, but guys, only upon the right confirmation, because many altcoins and also Ethereum, they haven't reclaimed the range low yet in confluence with a market structure shift towards the upside. And if you don't get the trigger, you don't have a trade. The market might seem very bullish, but to really position ourselves, we need to have clear triggers according to our trading system. Now, if you guys did enjoy today's video, make sure to smash up a like button, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'll catch you guys on Wednesday's video. Ciao, ciao!